suppliers on it. Oops, yeah, get rid of that. And programming expertise that we had in-house, because we've been doing a lot over the years with supplier data. So we've been working on this for probably about 2 years now, and I believe this is probably one of the biggest changes that will affect the promo industry over the next few years. It's going to fundamentally change how we deal with suppliers, how we deal with customers, how we just improve efficiency the whole way through. So what I'm going to do today is just going to give you a bit of background on Promodata, explain what it is, why it's different. I'm going to, as best I can, give you an example of the database. That's quite difficult to do because it's just a database, but I'll show you visually how it's structured. And then I'm going to show you how it's used in a distributor website, such as Brand Connect, some applications for it there. There are other applications like quoting and job management and things like that. But there's no way we can go into all that in just one session like this. But if you've got any questions on anything like that, either pipe up as we go, or we've got a Q&A at the end.
Can I just jump in quickly? A question for you, or Wes, just a housekeeping question. I noticed it popped up on the screen there that this has been recorded. Is that you guys recording it, and can we have access to that later on if we want someone else in the team to view it? You mute, Wes, but I see you're nodding your head, so that's a yes.
Yeah, so I'm nodding my head and say yes at the same time.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Okay. Briefly touching on, I won't spend too much time on this because Wes has already mentioned it, but APPA did an IT survey, so it's quite recent, October 2020. And in that survey, it just proved the point that we knew anyway, that industry product data is really important. For quoting, for your website, for a whole heap of purposes. But what was startling was that a lot of distributors, the majority, were either manually entering data or importing it from CSV files, data sheets. So, you know, that's the only way really of doing it. There was a couple of suppliers that do APIs, fine, but most of it is through CSV sheets. So it's fairly manually intensive. And that was proven in the same survey that the amount of time distributors spend doing that manual process in terms of searching for products, quoting, doing artwork, job management, etc., was 71% of their time. So if you put that into, say, a team of 4 people, nearly 3 of them are spending their time in admin in some way or another. So that is only just quite a big cost and a lot of time. It's also delays for customers, can lead to all sorts of mistakes and all sorts of things. So there's clearly a big opportunity there to improve on that. But as we all know, I'm sure you do, managing product data is very hard. Now, for those of us that were around 10 years ago in the industry, when the APPA format came along, that was a big help. At least it got some structure to what was just data in those days, PDFs, Excel spreadsheets, even Word documents. It was very difficult to consolidate that. So that gave some sort of structure to it, but it didn't solve everything. The APPA format still has a lot of issues. For example, there's no decoration definitions. Suppliers call things in different ways, different names for the same thing. So trying to get that consolidated for a website is very difficult to do. Images varied in quality and format across suppliers. You'd get them in zip files, in Dropbox. I've even seen images of products on a piece of carpet. It's just all over the place. Some of the data put into the spreadsheet's been extracted from a website, so you get HTML code written in there, blank spaces, uniform characters that look like hieroglyphics. Some distributors, suppliers split their products by SKUs and colors, others don't. So very difficult to get all that consolidated. Everybody calls things differently, drink bottle, water bottle, by supplier. Again, if you're trying to present a consistent and uniform image as a distributor to your customer, you know, you can't have all those variations. You have to somehow rename things. And then there'll often be text and instructions, especially around indent in the actual descriptions, which clearly not meant for the end user, the end customer. So you'd have to find that and strip that out. And you don't know how old the data is. It could be a month old on that CSV spreadsheet. Even if it's a day old, as soon as you've imported it and used it, it's old. It could have changed the next day. And of course, it's not going to give you any stock information. So you might quote something and then find out it's out of stock, or you have to go to the supplier anyway to find that it's what the stock situation is. And that's more pertinent today with stock, you know, being king. So in summary, the data has not actually been designed for the distributor sales process in mind. We've had to bend our way around that to make it work for us. So the whole essence of what Promodata is trying to do is to fix that issue. It's taking all this variable, different formats and standards of supplier data and mold it into one structure and make it a live standard. And I say live standard, meaning it's accessible in real time. Now that is a massive improvement because it allows you to go from supplier to supplier, knowing that the data structure is going to be the same. So where are we at the moment? We've got 65 current suppliers on Promodata. We're working with another 5 at the moment. JBs we're working on at the moment, so we'll have them in there. Around about 10 of those, a lot of those you can see on this screen here, are API connecting. So that means we're connecting directly into their database, which is a huge advantage. I'll talk a little bit about APIs in a moment, but 65, we're aiming for 100 by the end of the year. Wes says it's about 150 members, suppliers, but we're aiming for 100. Initially, it was a bit slow getting them on board, but now we've got momentum. There's suppliers, and we've got APPA search out live. We've got suppliers knocking on the door saying, I want to be on Promodata. So instead of us asking, they're asking us, and they're sending us the data to fix up, format, and put on Promodata. So we're seeing a change. We'll always want more, but I'm fairly confident we should hit 100 by the end of the year. We've got a lot of the majors, as you can see. Okay, what are the benefits of Promodata? Well, one big benefit is that you only need to, if you're going to connect via API, you only need one API. You could go and write an API for all those 10 that I've mentioned there, but each API would be different. You'd have to write code differently for every supplier because they've not got together and agreed an API standard. So every time a supplier, an individual supplier, changed their data structure, and they do all the time. We had trends last week changing something, so the setup charges dropped off. But we have procedures and alerts in place that notify us when things like that happen. We've got a very good monitoring system for that. So, but when they change it, if you were doing separate APIs, you'd have to be writing lots of code. You'd have to have a team of programmers dealing with, you know, many APIs. But with Promodata, you just get one. You only have to deal with one. And that allows those 65 suppliers at the moment to be all on one database, just one pot. So it allows distributors then to go in and slice and dice by supplier. Just give me these suppliers, just give me workwear, just give me eco products, give me sports goods, etc. So you can actually get across suppliers the type of products you want. You don't have to get everything. Whereas if you were dealing with separate APIs and separate CSV sheets, etc., you'd have to input it all in and then start to sort all that out. Well, we've done that for you. For the API ones, it's updated every 24 hours. So during the night, when there's less requests on the server, etc., the Promodata server goes to the suppliers, checks the products, any price changes, anything that's discontinued is flagged, any new products are brought forward. So it's all, updated. So you're pretty sure that if you're dealing with that supplier, the pricing is correct and accurate, which is really important when it flows through the process, right through from quoting to purchase order, if you're going to use one of these other systems. So that's good. Stock, which I've not listed there for those ones, is checked in real time, as it has to be. Now we know that not every supplier has got an API, although that is changing. APIs 2 or 3 years ago were fairly rare, but now it's becoming pretty standard and common, especially as a lot of the accounting software that a supplier might use that might be related to stock has API built into it. So we're going to see more and more suppliers move over the years to APIs, because that is the best way. But till then, we're stuck with some suppliers that have to have the spreadsheets, the CSV APPA format spreadsheets. At the moment, we've taken their data, we put it into Promodata, and we linked it to a Google sheet that allows them to edit pricing or add new products or discontinue, etc. It's not ideal, but it's a temporary thing that at least allows the data to be updated, and it timestamps it when that occurs. But we're looking at building a supplier portal. We've already started it, where they can log in and manage the data themselves. So they can upload, change prices, choose the hero image, and there'll be a web viewer that displays products typically how they would be displayed on a website. So they can actually, as a supplier, think, oh, I can improve the presentation on this. I need more information here, or that image would be better, etc., and manage it themselves. So we're going to make them responsible for their data. And they want it. They want to be able to do that because they find it hard themselves to actually do all this. So if they've got something like this, the feedback so far is it would be good. And if we then link that to analytics, say for how much products is downloaded, link it to maybe APPA search analytics, we could give some feedback back to the suppliers to say, these are popular products, for example. So they get some value out of it. We're also looking at, and this will probably be before the supplier portal because it's fairly easier for us to do. Not every distributor can have an API, because working with APIs, you need a web developer, which can be expensive depending what you want to do. And it might be beyond the realms of a small distributor. So we're getting feedback that what would be valuable to them is the ability to log into a portal, choose a supplier or a type of product, and download those products in a consistent format. So it doesn't matter who the supplier is, it's all the same fields, the same columns, etc. And then they can do what they want with that, either import it into templated website or for quoting or whatever. So we're looking at that one as well. What we do, which is a really big thing on Promodata, as I said, about all those data problems, we clean it up as best we can. We take a lot of that HTML out of there, those hieroglyphics and what have you. And where we can, because not every supplier gives us an image matched to a color, we do that for them. So if the image has got red in it, say, and the product variant has got red, we'll match it wherever possible. And we do about 60% of suppliers that don't give us images matched to colors. We do that for them, which is a good benefit. And of course, we match it to the APPA standard list of colors for things like APPA search. So we do that automatically. We take all their images as well, and we put them on a separate database. It's Cloudinary, it's called. And what that does, it cleans up the images, provides them in formats that you might want to use, like thumbnails, and it links them to product SKUs. So that's really, really a good tool, because you can then simply, as I say simply, seems simple to me, but the programmers probably wouldn't say it is, but you can then make sure you've got all those images matched to the right product SKU, which I'll show you how that works, or an example of that. Right, okay, so that's what Promodata is and what it does. I'm going to show you now, basically, best I can. Now, this is the Promodata database, and I've got sort of selection of products here. Now, the 30,000 odd products that are on APPA search at the moment, I can access and view them all here. And why I'm showing you this, I've got some favorites, so a broad selection here, is when I say they're all in the same format and standard, you'll be able to see that. The information is structured in the same way. So we have the hero image, we have information about the product, i.e. the supplier code, its name, who the supplier is, how we access it, in this case, it's API. Yes, we can check the stock, when it first came on the database, and most importantly, when the prices last changed. So this one here, the price changed on the 29th of April. It was actually updated on the 5th of May, but not a price change. So something changed about it, but this price changed then. It's not been discontinued, so it's current. And if we wish, we can go and actually view it on Logo Line. And we've got the APPA categories as well in there. We've got all the details nicely formatted that we can make use of. Should we in a wish website, got all the images, match them to colors. We've got the pricing undecorated. I mean, this is obviously all on the Logo Line website when you log in, but now we've all got it in one simple database. We've got the decoration pricing and this example add-ons there, and then stock as well. Notice how fast it is as well. It's something we've worked really hard on. You're not waiting. So that's gone in real time to the supplier's website. So if you want teal, you're out of luck until August. So it's handy to know. Navy blue, 0 till August. So you wouldn't choose that one. So it saves you as a distributor a lot of time. You know, we don't want to quote it if it's not available as stock. So I'm going to put one here again, colors, match to swatches. Nottage are very good at this. They give us swatches as well. And we've got stock. There you go. By, in this instance, by size, which for apparel is essential. We take very complex Pricing, USBs is a good example. That's why I put it in here, because you have, for pricing, a lot of variations, this instance here by size. So, 4 gig, what have you, but also by decoration. So pad print, really, engraving or full color. So there's a lot of data there. So, and for something like, as you know, USBs, pricing's changing all the time. Well, you don't have to worry about it through Promodata because it's updated, as it changes. So, point being, the structure across products, across suppliers is the same, which is useful. So that's the best I can visualize the Promodata database. So we'll go now to, that's Wes's slide there. I stole that. I didn't know he was going to show it earlier, but yeah, this is the whole principle. We take it all, we wash it through Promodata, make it available to distributor websites. That at the moment's hard because distributors have to use their own developers, but we're looking at templated options and ways of making that more available for other distributors. It's not going to happen this year, but it's part of the mindset, part of the plan. APPA search and then third-party quoting systems. So the data, whether it's on your website, whether you're quoting it, it's all the same. So it's consistent, which does save a lot of time. So, okay, I'm now going to show you how that data can be used. This isn't Promodata or part of Promodata, I'll make that clear. This is something that we've done separately, but we're using Promodata data. So this is the application of that data through our website. It's still a work in progress, not from a technology point of view, but now we're hooked up to Promodata. We've got a lot of work to do from a thinking point of view about which products we want. Also, for example, we've only got on the website 58 products, but they've got 5,000 products. So we're going through the process internally. Do we want more of their eco products? And which do we want? The process we're using is asking the supplier what are their best sellers, etc. But still, we need to decide. It's a decision. So there's still work thinking and making those decisions. It's not just automatic, but the imputation of products and data is. So this is the ones we've chosen to hook up to Promodata. Tells us how many we've got on there, how many are actually active, because some of them will be discontinued, but they're still there. So if I choose trends, for example, it's a good one. What we need to do is fetch the data from Promodata. This was done 21 hours ago. We keep on top of this because there are products that are changing so often. So yesterday that would have been fetch the data. So we take the data, the processes from Promodata, and it then goes on to the Brand Connect server. So we've then got it to use as we wish. We have these processes then where we can do it. Mapping decorations is a big thing. As I said, logo line's got 850 odd. So we don't want on our website the choice of 850 odd decoration descriptions. So what we've done is we've got 30 and we map supplier decorations to those 30. So we have consistency across the web. So it'd be one color print, full color print, whether it's a digital print, etc. So we do that, and we've got a tool for doing that. But I won't go into that because that's going down a side path, but we'll look at bulk up prices. So we've got the data. We're now checking if there's anything changed for trends. So it's telling me it does 100 at a time. You can do them all at once if you want, fetch all, but we do 100. So we've got, this has changed. So 17 prices have changed. 11 have got new quantity breaks, and there's 5 new decoration options. So we can fix them up if we wish. So I'll click on the prices changed. So all these products here, there's a change. I can do a quick view, and what it shows me here, this product here, anything with the blue, the big blue tick, has changed. The engraving hasn't. So there's been a price change there. I can, if I wish, go and check. It's hidden behind everybody's faces here, but there is a link to the Trends website, or I can save that, which it looks fine to me. Quite happy with that. I'll save that. Then on the website, that's it. That's done. Prices are updated. We could do this automatically, but sometimes we find an issue. There's still issues in supplier data. There might be a price that's wrong or something like that. So we prefer, and it doesn't take long, just to go and click on it and think, ah, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. I'll have that one and save. There you go. So that's pricing. So the point being, we know on our website that pricing is absolutely accurate. I can change margins as well if I wish. See this one here, it's changed. It's got a double arrow, so it's gone up, you know, not too much. 3 arrows would be thinking, oh, that's gone up a lot, but it's gone up a bit. So I can change it if I want, but so I know, we know it's right. Now, what that has difference that has made is we almost don't have to quote. I don't have as many salespeople quoting because we're so confident that our prices are right. We can just have a customer order direct, cutting out the sacred quoting process entirely. Or our salespeople just refer customers, there's the product, there's the pricing, we stand by the pricing, and we know we're very confident with it. So that's pricing. Then we've got new products here. So these are products we haven't got on our website or our database, but we may wish to. We make use of the APPA categories here, so I can search by them, and it's just handy to know, you know, if you're interested in say apparel, we'll look at polo shirts, and we won't bother looking at some of these. So let's have a look. Beer glasses, there you go. That's quite interesting. So we've got beer glasses. I know we haven't got too many of them on the website, but we can look at this and we can either say, I never want to see this again. And that might be, we do a lot of that on button badges and things. There's only so many you can have, but we'll ignore that and it'll never appear in this list again, or I'll come back to it later, or I can have a look at it in Trends, or I can import it. So this one looks quite good. We'll have that. This is our particular process. This is a new product. Anything red needs fixing. So I'll click on tags. We use tags rather than menus, categories, because tags offer a lot more flexibility. So what's this? It's drinkware, isn't it? Beer glass. Yeah, there you go. It's made out of glass, so made with materials, glass. There you go. So update that one. Boom, boom, boom. Colors. Yeah. It's clear. Okay. Yeah. Clear. Clear. What clear is that? I'll just choose that for now. Save messing about. Save and close. That's the colors. Pricing. Update prices. There's all the options, all from the suppliers database. So we'll have 48, 96, 192, and 384. We'll have them, and we'll have imitation etch, one position, one color print, one position. That'll do. Update that. I should have ignored some of the others so they don't be there. The only thing to do now is make it visible. And there it is. You know, still a little bit of messing about, but I know the pricing's right. I know it's right, and it's done. So that's using data integrated into a website. Where are we going? This is the way we see it. It's a data circular flow, as we call it, the wheel of Promodata. So where supplier will add their product to their database, automatically updates Promodata database. We can then put it into the website like I've just shown you. We can quote it, gets approved if we're using one of those systems, job management quoting systems based on the same data. It can be approved, quoted, approved, PO based on the same data, which is really good for the supplier. If they make a mistake on their pricing, it's their data, but it cuts down on mistakes as well for the supplier, so makes the whole thing more efficient. Goes into production. We're talking with suppliers now where they can give information back to the distributor on the stages. Not every supplier will do this, but there's a few that will, on the supply stages of production. So you're not ringing them up and checking where it is all the time. It gets shipped, tracked with third-party tracking, invoice based on the same data to the supplier. The supplier then knows what's selling, replenishes stock. So this is where we're sort of going and working with suppliers. To do that, we've got a few things to fix. For those that know about it, in America, the US, they have promo standards. We don't have that here. What we've done with Promodata is take all the pain ourselves to bend supplier data into a structure that we can work with. In the US, they did it the right way. They set a standard and then went to suppliers and say, look, you need to meet this standard. Well, we want to now get to something similar here. We'll never have the same standard as them because we do things differently here. We don't have the sales tax situation, etc., that they do have by state, etc. But what we do want, so we can then talk to suppliers and say, if you're moving to an API, these are the standard endpoints that we need to fix. So for your product data, e.g. decorations, this is how we want it structured. Same with pricing. And we're not saying, you know, it needs to fit our particular model. We'll obviously work with how a supplier prices things, but we need it structured in a way so we can make use of it. And this is the standard. Same with industry, order statuses, you know, pending approval, approved, or in artwork, etc. It just needs defining, basically. And then we all have the same instead of different. Same with PO and invoicing, which is fairly easy, and shipping. But that's over the next, I would say, 2 years, what we need to lock down once we've got a lot of suppliers on. And that then makes it far easier for any suppliers. They've got at least something to work with when they're moving to an API. And that's it, really. That's just an overview and a quick demo. There is a lot more for, if we looked at quoting and job management and that side of things, making use of the data, but that's a whole new, as I say, ball game. So it's basically open to any questions, or if it's too technical, I'll be hopeless, I'll admit. I'm not a techie, but I'll try my best. I was hoping that I'd have somebody techie here today, but they come down with COVID. So, but we will get back to you if it is a technical question that I can't answer.